Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact reaction. Today we are back in the forest of Jnana and Vidya, and I'm excited to hear what Before the Light Fades sounds like. Somebody on the comments of my last reaction said that this song kind of sounded similar to that one, but a little bit different. So I don't know what that means, but I'm very curious to find out what it means. So without further ado, let's go. Ooh, mysterious. Ooh. Really has that build, that release pulsation. It's trying to make you feel like something sneaky is happening. Ooh. I really like the use of that string buzz too. It's unique to use it to build tension in that way instead of it just being an artifact of playing. Ooh, all right. Ooh. This is feeling like a battle theme again. It's like the nighttime trying to be sneaky kind of soundtrack. I can't help but like bob my head to this too. I'm just Ooh. A shift up. Ooh, okay. Introducing that. I wouldn't have thought that was the drums they would have chosen for this sort of sound, but I get it, weirdly. That was so nice. What a good accent. I love that. They gonna do that again? I hope so. Still utilizing all these instruments from the Middle East and India. I love this sound. Such creative uses of these instruments all over the place. Alright. Build into the 4 on the floor. Keep that energy driven. Now we're building on top of it. Are we gonna get a drop, or is it just gonna be like a key change? Ooh. Ooh, okay. Double time. I mean, that was like the other option. I just didn't say it. You just never know what's gonna show up sometimes. Ooh. These off-time snare hits. Keeping that energy alive. Love that flute. That was really fun. I like it. Very mysterious, very well built throughout. I never felt the tension fully resolve. The one time that I felt a change was when the note went up instead of going back down into that usual pattern. And that was a really nice shift because it brought in the latter part of that song and it helped you just mentally transition to the other changes that were to come. And then they brought in the double time on the beat overall. They had more instruments come into play there. The synth was a little bit more aggressive. aggressive, and all of these little textured sounds that were being added to kind of fill the space really added a lot of life, and they just didn't stop doing that all the way through. Every single time I thought they were going to try and resolute and like calm the song down, they didn't, and they kept that tension together, which can be very difficult to do without feeling repetitive. And after the first half of that song was done, and then they changed it and things started to happen again and change more in the second half, that tension stayed there and they didn't let it go away. That is so nice. I loved that. And a special shout out again to that string buzz just being there in the beginning, adding a little bit of distortion and confusion to the sound, because that sort of sound is usually an artifact of playing a stringed instrument. It happens when you let a string vibrate incorrectly or for too long, or if you're too aggressive with a pluck, it'll have that really like very grated saw-like sound to it. And using that as a sound design principle instead of just it being there accidentally during a recording, that's super creative. I loved the way they did that. There's a lot in this song, just like most songs that I've heard from this album and this collection of music, that utilize these world instruments so creatively and in ways I never would have thought that they'd be used, like using them in that way or having them build together in ways that I would have never expected. A lot of the songs I've heard from this part of the game have had a lot of that creativity, with especially the strings and the flutes being used in very subtle ways that I just would never have thought. A lot of the drums for this one were just electronic drums. There wasn't really much going on there. It was pretty standard. But even building into like the 4 on the floor, just the constant 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bass drum helps keep momentum going, and it keeps the song feeling tense. That is where they could have lost that tension, but choosing where they did to double down on that speed and make it suddenly more urgent refreshed that sense of urgency, and I really do like this one a lot for that reason. It's creative. But that's pretty much all I've got to say, so thank you all so very much for watching, and I'm sorry it's been taking me a long time to get to another Genshin song. I'm going to be doing construction on this room in the next week, so it's going to change a little bit and things are going to be shifted around, so don't be freaked out. But that's also forced me to not record as much as a result of prepping for all of that, so sorry I haven't gotten as many out. But either way, if you want me to get to another song from Genshin, by all means leave a comment. I always return to the last video I did on a subject to find the next one I should do. So if you got something from Genshin or anything, leave it in the comments, and I try to get to the ones with the most likes. That's usually how I pick. And other than that, if you like the video and you want to follow me and support me, you know how to do all that, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!